All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Should we say like where are we now, or we just talk
No, I think we can say where are we now.
now?
So we are in Essen, in Solbrain, Essen. We were invited here for a conference as part of the festival New Now. The conference is called Another End is Possible. And so nice to see you again. We just saw now 2 days ago in Ars Electronica. And he passed by just for one day. And he disappeared.
Long story.
But he disappeared during the night. So anyway, it's nice to see you again now too.
It's hard to talk and we could do, but having the camera is really weird.
That would be funny to see it like 9,000 times faster.
There's a plate getting emptied up.
That's a constant.
So what are we doing today? Like, not for the camera, but realistically.
So, like, work-wise, we could so like we come here to work, no? So,
Yeah.
so anyway, so then officially, I just checked the schedule. Then it's at 6 people are invited to come in, and at 7 is the opening of the festival, and it goes until 1 a.m. with activities and
Okay.
some sound things. So I think we should go to the center as we said. So we take some time, like I go back to the room, then take some time to rest a little bit also because I woke up at 6 I was awake. So at some point we just left the hotel, and I think we should go and find a lunch in the city, and then be back here maximum 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think. What do you think?
But then we cannot do a chat. We do a chat in the center
Yeah.
somehow.
Anyway, we will do a chat also tomorrow here, because I want to have a chat with the Solbrain thing in the backyard. We should do one. I mean, you can I move it? You can show like.
Wait, I'm gonna see the preview. I don't know. It's too bright. It's not that crazy, but you get it. And we can have a chat with the bird statues. It's so nice I don't have to cook breakfast.
It's so nice that I have space. Finally.
You don't have to sleep with 2 other guys.
Man.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, but it's the first time we don't stay in the same room. Like Node was like, we were sleeping next to each other.
And that was the first time that we were sharing space. So it's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you're feeling, but then it's basically like the Japanese. I'm in my head and like there's this Japanese guy. Yeah.
And second time was in Vienna, right?
So
That was a banquet.
that was the impulse dance, yeah.
in the famous flat
With Bruno.
with a dog. Oh my gosh.
I just applied, by the way, I just update the Lightroom album, and I put the picture of you on the
So it's gonna be on your website as well.
It's in the web, it's in the portfolio.
Yeah, that's something to be told. My
The dog.
buddy.
Naoto was coming to meet face. I'm like, what is wrong with this dog?
Sorry, I really hate it.
But I think the guy was also like, he understood, and also when you were trying to hug him, you were really looking other side like, don't come close. Why are you doing this right now?
But it was a nice room.
Yeah.
It was a bit strange situation, but
No, but I mean, we couldn't complain. It was really, it was good. Like,
and it was really cheap. So
for what we paid, and the woman and the way else, she was nice. She was super easy going.
yeah.
So thanks, Hilde. What was her name? Was
Inga.
Inga. Thanks. I really appreciate your meals.
We're now in a hotel.
And my room has a picture of a guy, a mining guy, who's looking at me all the time. It's a bit bizarre. And I don't have a fridge. Naoto has a fridge.
But I don't have that picture. And the goodies.
Yeah, and then I have like mining goodies.
Now it's more quiet, but there are a lot of people.
Maybe just the business people just went to work.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it makes sense, no? Like now it's 9:30, so already it's late for
We have meetings.
Yeah. Hi.
But here it's like middle of nowhere. Maybe they drive that little car.
Maybe
work.
5 of these executives, they just have one smart car. They're like, once they go out, like, they're like taking space, but they're very ecological and friendly. The 5 of them, they fit in one smart car. Maybe they have the driver, even, but it's a smart car.
What do you do in the city? There's not much.
I can't imagine. Maybe people in the city will tell you, go to the mine.
Do you know this place?
But I'm happy that we finished this video because that was in my head and my to-do list still.
Oh yeah, you just rendered the...
Yeah. The video to submit, to give for Kim. Kim, if you're seeing also, hello. I know you are not watching it.
It's okay.
But anyway, politically, just...
We say hello to everyone.
So Kim invited me. We saw Kim in the Impulse Dance. And then she has this project of running in Milwaukee. Which is about work. So then she invited me to submit any sort of audiovisual proposal around work. So we just render very structurally. I think the easiest way is like I took in my archive the latest video and then I tested. I rendered it at 9,000 times faster and kind of like it, and then I just did it with the next 4 in descent order. So from the latest one to the yeah. And now we have 6 minutes video that we can submit as an audiovisual proposal, also for Fiber Festival. What is this Fiber Festival? This is so for the camera. What is this Fiber Festival? Please explain what it is and share with us what is Fiber Festival.
It's a festival in Amsterdam. Sorry, I'm not really good at camera. Well, it's like a friends of Node, but then what's Node? We have to explain plain language, really.
The Node is the Institute for Node Programming-Based Languages. So if somebody has no idea what it is, yeah, well, they try to promote themselves as like the Institute for Node Programming Languages. So that's why, as an institute, that's why they provide informal formation in BBBB, Touch Designer, and that's it. But then the Node Institute also has this festival, which we were part
Sleeping next to each other.
when we just met. Real person. There is called the Node Forum. How it's called? For digital arts.
Yeah, but like that year, like they kind of branded as like Node 20, because I heard like every time they like brand as like Node Forum, but I feel like they didn't use that word as Node Forum, but they said like Node 20, hashtag Node 20.
Right.
Anyways, Fiber is like social festival, like biannual.
So media art and media festival.
No, they have conference, exhibition, CCL, performances.
Is it somehow connected with the Koninklijke Universiteit van Amsterdam?
No idea. I didn't hear that name. I actually don't know what's running. What is the entity?
Where the money comes from?
Because Node was like, I know that like the team of like mostly volunteers, I guess, and then Node Institute, but because one of the most important things of the Node festival is the workshops. So they run the conferences, but also the workshops are a really important part of it.
Actually, it's for the Node, for the BBBB community.
Yeah.
That's the really big moment when the BBBB community met. Actually, that community is a very interesting community.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting project. Yeah. But it's so not easy to get into like this before.
That's why they do the workshops.
Because it's low-level computing, so Touch Designer is more high-level computing. You don't have to go so deep into that. So it takes a bit more time to get to know. I mean, you can use patches, which that's the beauty of these node programming languages, is you have patches, and based on that you can alter your own patches and create something, right? But if you want to use it more in a function, say we want to use it for installation, so work with sensors and things like this, then you really need to start diving into the software itself, or just hard coding things in C. I think it's C++ at the core.
Well, now
C++, by the way, C++ is a programming language. Yeah.
What is a computer?
What is a computer?
Yeah, C++, I think, maybe C#, I don't know, they moved to like .NET, kind of, Unity kind of thing. Because now the V4...
yeah. No, but that's a library. That's just a library that is integrated.
Yeah, but like they built on top of like this library or framework, so it became more modular than the beta. Like the Gamma is more like, because it also uses a game engine and somehow it's modular. I don't know what it means.
Anyway, so as you see, we don't work with DVD.
Well, I did a bit, but
I mean, I did also a bit. So
anyways.
I will use Search Designer if I need to do something similar.
So that was an explanation of Fiverr Festival. That was weird. But Fiverr doesn't have this workshop thingy. I think it's more like a festival,
But there was an open call then for Fiverr to submit audiovisual proposals.
right?
Is it? I mean, is still open.
The one we're submitting.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise we cannot.
Too bad. Next time.
No.
I think the festival is like trying to push this kind of political aspect of media art, like the conference in Node.
Like, I mean, but this is something that. Okay, so this is interesting. Yesterday we already were mentioning this. What this, like for instance, what they were portraying more in Node is more. I mean, from things that I saw, and I watched almost all of them. They were portraying more the art and science aspect of. So the art and science aspect of the artistic practice more than the art and media practice. And I was sharing with Naoto that just now that I'm back from Ars Electronica, I finally understand the difference between art and science and art and media. Before I was really confused with this. So maybe art and science at the core is science-based. So hardcore science-based. So it will use the frameworks always will be scientific, so they will have a scientific approach with it, and then also then the artistic side of it. But then the media one is the one who I will dare to say is more close to design in a way, or speculative design, where the media is being used in conjunction with art to speculate. So in that sense, it doesn't have to be necessarily useful somehow or clean, and that's a dichotomy because, for instance, in Ars Electronica, so you have the Johann Kepler University, JKL, yeah. That's the main university where Ars Electronica passes, and they are art and science, right? So there would show all the robotics, all these crazy things. They use a lot of budget for developing. But also you have the Kunstuniversität of Linz, the University of Arts of Linz, and then they have different careers. From my experience there, I thought like the career that is the most experimental in the Kunstuniversität in Linz is the interface cultures.
That Joe was
With Joe Kaimo, the artist that I'm working in the exciting research project. It was the project we were showing in Ars Electronica. He's studying that. So, what I was trying to say is like, even though the most speculative approach that they could have in Linz, meaning the Kunst University and then the interface cultures, the approach is very design-wise. It has this clean approach to web design, functionality, development, and this kind of things. And that's something that I found like was eking somehow. Like this is not really, it's not really giving space for other things to happen.
Why?
Because then it becomes too clean. Like
okay, yeah.
The aspect of it, like it's just clean. Or if somebody works in web design, it has to be super well designed somehow, even though it's bad. And then in VR and different aspects, it's just well done.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also that school and Ars Electronica was kind of at least it used to be, or is still the epicenter of media art. I wouldn't say art and media.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I was trying to clarify because that's not true. So I thought also the same, but they are the people. So they're the most visible thing that you can hear about art and put it other creative things. But in reality, is that the focus of Ars Electronica is not media, but it's just, I mean, their motto is like, I think it's society, technology, and something else. So they are really trying to make the life better through...
What I want to say is, it used to be. Like, I feel that how they started and how this aesthetics are formed is from them. Well, or at least they are part of this, clean media art aesthetic. And I wouldn't say it's art and media because I think it's something is like media art because it's blended. But art and science, there's no science art or art science because it's... Well, that's something else. But I would call it media art, but you can say it's art and media, whatever. But I think they are kind of, they formed it like that, and then since they got the budget and they grew, they switched to art and science. That's my understanding. I might be wrong, but at least like they are the crowd that like really this interface culture or this thing, emerged from thing, and then now it's still there, right? Like if you see like. For example, like creativeapplications.net is like a good example. Like you have to have like a really clean aesthetics to be on it.
And I understand in terms of communication and visibility, because if you have to share a project with a crowd that it doesn't really have the knowledge to. I think it's just easier to communicate when things are, I guess, well designed somehow.
Yeah, of course, it's a good entry point.
I mean, that's why, in a way, you have like best practices of so many things, basically. Because then, through design methodologies, you just make things easier. Like there is this book of design that is very well known. It's called like "Don't Make Me Think." Many of these sort of like the design at the core of what I learned from the school also is like design at the core is just it assumes that the user doesn't know anything, so it's just straightforward. So it goes in that direction. But so then we agree on that. But then if you really will try to go then it's in the state of the art of media art, then you have to question in like more like it's more like an ontological conversation of media, where then the user is not taking as a recipient, like as an empty recipient, who just takes something functionally. But I think it has to be more engaged, and as we do in our process, I think we should give back agency to the user. So not offering a tool box, but is actually finding ways how to circumvent its functionality and give back agency for the user to decide what to do with something. But that and that still we are talking about media arts. So that's what I meant. That is an ontological understanding of the media.
So it's a bit like hacking. Not the user's side.
Yeah, so if you
there is a room for hacking, basically.
But how you mean? What do you mean? Like how?
As a user, it's not that I have to do this way and that way, but I can do something wrong.
Yeah.
That. There has to be an affordance to be hacked.
Yeah, I would say more like to be hacked. Yeah. Yeah. Not to hack, but to be hacked. Yeah. And that's an ontological process. because I'm not so interested in the epistemological process, which is just like the really knowledge-based thing, like to really just understanding that, but more the ontological process of like through being within the process, then you basically let yourself be hacked. Yeah.
There's this, I think it's a kind of famous quote online that when a programmer or debugger or this QA, like quality, what's it called? Anyways, like someone debugging goes to a bar and order one beer, and then another debugger comes and order -1 beer, and then orders like 2 million, I don't know what's the maximum of int, or one more than that, and then they make sure that it works, the bartender can handle it, and then the real customer comes in and asks for a bathroom, and then the whole thing crashes, because that's not something that's expected to happen.
Okay.
So it's like I think it's kind of a famous joke, and at least I see it often on Reddit.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the other way around for programmers, you know. They're kind of afraid of the users, because users do
Things they
wrong
don't expect
things.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
But this is the
unexpected.
other way around. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Because I think this that I'm proposing, what we're speaking about, that is, I think, what we practice in a framework, the best practice in contemporary dance, is that I first do it for myself, meaning that if myself as programmer don't want to get in the stress of, oh my god, I don't know, I don't want the user to do these things, right? You cannot control everything. So as you said, that you can be afraid that the user will find a bug. So instead of going in that direction, that's entropy basically, that's infinitum, then I think it's more interesting, or I'm more interested in find a framework where I can actually use the possibility of mistake as some element that I can use in my work.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. Maybe that's another end, the user asking for the bathroom.
But it's like, I would say it's not an end because it's a pausa. Like, I think in optimal conditions, like the program should be still running. So then I will say it should be a pausa, it should not crash the system. It should just close a loop and then go to an else statement.
Yeah, no, I said more like an option. Like end, but I said end because that's a conference theme. But maybe as users we are always trying to do it in the right way. But something else leads to another end, I don't know.
I think I don't get what. I think I don't get this. Can you elaborate?
No, I'm just trying to make a connection.
Okay.
Because if you say another end is possible, probably we have to do something different.
Yeah.
And maybe that's as a user doing the wrong thing can lead to another.
And yeah. No, I understand. Yes. Yeah.
But it's very vague.
No, but then like it doesn't matter because then we don't have to know about what is it. So that's what I'm saying. It's not about epistemology, which is about knowledge, but it's about ontological. So it's actually to give space, it's just give a framework for the elements to be and do what they need to do without knowing what is it. That's what I underline the ontological. there. So in the context of the another ends possible, then I think is that it's actually just give space for the glitch to happen, basically. And then yeah, the error, and then just acknowledging the error as something positive, or not necessarily positive, but as something. Or even maybe I would dare to say, like, maybe at the beginning you can, until you have this mindset that is twisting, you have to acknowledge it as something that is possibly positive. Not be scared of it and run away. And that can be applied not only to media art, but to just life in general. People get scared of things that they don't know, people that they don't know, things that are not familiar to them, because we are trained, or we grow up getting used to when we are confronted with things that we don't know, we get scared and then back off. So I think it's like a strategy to find spaces, not only media art, but it's just as humans, basically, and reclaim space for ourselves, basically. And then you can maybe go more into that direction, more political, but and I think that what we need as humans is to find space to be humans, because we are not humans. That's why in a practice we favor the post-human, because we're trying to get away from taxonomical assumptions and constraints, individuality constraints, more in favor of multi-universe and multiverse, like the possibility to not be only one thing. And I think that could be, or a strategy could be the glitch, a favor the glitch, the error.
Yeah. I don't like to use quantum mechanics as a metaphor, but it's like all these possibilities are layered. I mean, coexisting. It's not that something is here, but there's possibility of this being here like 50%, but also there's possibility of this thing here 30%. It's more distributed. I think this is the reason why art and science don't go together, because always art cites science in the wrong way. It cannot be cited in the right way.
No.
Because then if you cite science in the right way, that is science.
It's not art, yes, true. Yes, it's true. But then what about the other way around? Can you cite art in science in the proper way?
I think in neuroscience it happens, but other fields I think it's very difficult.
But then it goes close to design, because basically when we talk about art, like, or creativity, say, then you have a liberal creativity and applied creativity. So then when you put example of the science that uses creativity, to not call it art, then it becomes applied.
Yeah, form, applied. Yeah.
So, and that's design.
Yeah.
By definition.
No, but I think in neuroscience it's possible, because neuroscience itself is really not well defined in a way, and they kind of try not to have like really simple methodology. Like sometimes it cannot be logical.
Yeah.
Because brains are so fluid.
Yeah, and
we cannot just find the logic that.
Also because like the state of the art in neuroscience is like in a really really not understanding of what is happening.
Right. And acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Okay, no, that's what I mean. Like, so that makes sense. Like, that's why in a way it's speculative because they think they know less than 5% comparing to I don't know hearts or other body parts. So, but the brain, like, I don't know how much they know, but I think it's less than 10%. So then, basically, their approach is speculative at the core.
Yeah.
Like, we guess, we're thinking, it's my word like this. Let's try.
What are we saying? Yeah, so the art and science. I feel this is like the next theme for us to talk about.
Art and science. So thank you for the PhD. Thank you for the PhD, Daniela. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry. No PhD. What is it?
You should make an application that says how wrong art science is. Just to explain that in your proposal.
And this is just a personal opinion. I mean, I just speak from my truth. We have this conversation in Vienna, like with Lisa. I'm speaking from my truth. So this is my truth, and this is what I believe is. But it's no means it's a way to patronize somebody with my knowledge. It's just what I experience. It's true for me.
I often forget that it's good that you said it because sometimes people really try to convince you, right? Because they assume that you're trying to convince someone your position. But we are saying all these things from our standpoints, and then we're not trying to generalize it. Well, it might sound, but it's not that our job is to convince people that our science is wrong or something. But it's just about saying our opinion.
It's in a standpoint. It's in a standpoint. Yeah. It's just in a standpoint.
But some people take it in a different way.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I remember when, like now it's more clear. So I'm not gonna do that thing now, the PhD now. But then maybe the new now. Once I found another end possible, another possible end, not now. And I remember when she was not now.
that's like a unconference title. Not now.
No, but maybe we can close with this. I think it's good. So, like, thank you, Daniela, but I'm not gonna do the PhD now.
Video later to her.
Yes. Not now.
But we should host a conference during this festival called Not Now.
Not now. Could be interesting, and then we can just talk constantly with Uli, other people. Daniela. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for people subscribing once in a while. It's my motivation to keep this doing.
Okay. Bisous, bisous. Thank you, and see you later.